Well, hello, friends. Before I start this video, I'd like to apologize for some of you, Dee and Gerard. I guess you attempted to comment or like the video, the previous video, the same topic that I put up yesterday, but I was having issues with my mic. I still am. I am running a snowball now, and it to me it's producing the best sound, not so much when I speak, but the best sound when it comes to testing this amp I'm showcasing today. It's the Polytone Mini Brute 2 that I purchased very recently, day before yesterday. It arrived, and I attempted to showcase it, but it wasn't delivering the sound using the condenser mic or the webcam mic that automatically. I really need to invest in some good microphones for stuff like this. So let's get on with it. Where I left off, or from the beginning. It's Sunday, by the way. Happy Sunday to everybody. And I am just pulling this so there, just to give you an idea. That's the that's a mini brute right there. Very simple. It's got a off on switch. There's one for reverb. Back in the day, I guess they used to insert their pedals there and put it on reverb. But now, we have a reverb a pedal that you can go directly, and it also has a reverb knob here. So I'm wondering why they did that. That's really really weird. And you've got your bass. I've got it set where it sounds good, I think, with what I'm trying to achieve here. The treble is also set, although you can have it lower. And then this is the volume knob here. And this red thing, when you turn it on, is the distortion. I'm not a fan of it, but I will showcase it as well. And these are the three selection switches. You have dark, mid, and high. It's in dark right now. And then you have your reverb over there. And then there's your input jack. Looking at the front of the Polytone, it came to me very dirty. This was gray, and I thought that was the color of it. I purchased it in Reverb. It's a 1980, by the way, and I just thought it was gray, and this was really dirty. So I said it doesn't matter as long as it sounds clean. And then when I when it arrived, it was just dirt. So I took a cloth and just wiped it, and it is really not that bad looking for a 1980 year. This just comes off. There's no screws. It's a foamy material. I am really amazed how it lasted that long, without just sort of, being dilapidated. A lot of the ones I see online don't even have this anymore that they purchased. So I bit the bullet on this, and I'm sorry if I get you guys dizzy here, but I gotta put this back where it was. There you go. I'm not very savvy with YouTube stuff, so you've had to uh, bear with me. Um, so I've got this mic going on, the Snowball. I hope it's capturing. I tested it. This must be the 15th retake. I voice test or sound test that I did before doing this. This is probably the longest time I've spent trying to make a video on YouTube, and I don't even edit my videos. I what you see is what you get. Okay, without further ado, we are going to test it first with this PRS hollow body, recently acquired, fully hollow. There's only two small. They're not even a block. It's small woods that go down to anchor the bridge, and I've got this on the neck position now. We're going to test it. Reverb, by the way, as you saw, is all the way down because I want to test it first without the reverb, and then eventually we'll add a reverbs. Okay, put this down here. So okay, there you go. And over at the side there, you see my DV Mark, one of the best amps I've ever owned. And we will be comparing it at some point, not today though, okay, with the Polytone. This is just a sound check. You know, all my knobs on the guitars are all the way up on all of them. I I back them up just a little bit once they're fully up, and it's through the amp that I really dial in. You know the EQs. Yeah. Right now, I'm not hearing it too well because it's really the mic is sensitive. So, um, yeah, I would have this a little bit louder if it was just me. So now I'm putting it on the middle position, okay, with the two pickups. And then all the way down for the bridge. Okay, since we're down by the bridge, we'll go ahead and test the distortion in this. You know, at first I said I didn't like it, but you know, I'm sure that I'm not a distortion kind of guy. I'm sure that if you dial it in, it ain't bad. I just don't like that, you know. But if you go a little bit down, this is like at one. If I put it like just above zero, it's where it's just starting to break. Now that's good. Okay, so enough of that. Um, I'm just gonna turn it off now, and then now I'm going to turn on the reverb to 12 o'clock. The one thing I've noticed about these amps, they're very gradual in their swell, if you will. You know, for the bass, tone, and the reverb, and even volume, it really takes its time to go up there. You know, and drop my pick, and so I like that. You know, the reverb probably that's a 12, right? So that's it for this guitar. I'm going to put the reverb down again because, oh, by the way, the only thing that's wrong with it, as you can tell, it's really quiet. And the only time it hizzes is when you put the reverb. I don't even know if you can hear that, but the reverb all the way up, which I will never do, too hollow. You know, some people like that though. So I'm gonna put it all the way down now because we're gonna switch guitar here and go with the Jazz Box, the AFC 151. Also recently purchased. This was purchased used. This guy really took care of this. Let's see. I haven't sound tested this. comping there. With this boxes, I don't know if it's going to register well, with the sound here. When I play something like this, I kind of tend to mute with my palm a little bit the string, because to me it sounds like the thump, the classic thump that you get usually with a 175 very expensive guitar. But here it goes. It just gives you that nostalgic sound. And here, without the palm muting, and I only use that when you do solos, the lead part. It's nice to have that, thumping sound as far as I'm concerned. This is a very trebly guitar, by the way. The treble is like midway up there, and not midway, like a quarter up. So I am really surprised that it doesn't sound as trebly as it does with my DV. And like I say, at some point we're gonna make a comparison. But I have the reverb on. I want it up, but I also have a pedal here for reverb. So if I want that extra boost without the hissing sound, I can get it there too. If I try a little bit of a chord melody here, let's play something I am working at. I can play Misty, but I already know that. Let's play something I'm working at. So this is still in the making. It's Moon River. Just a little of that. I'm still working on it, but it's a real nice arrangement that I got free online. You can get it from Jazz Guitar Standards, I think is the name of the. They have the tab and everything there. I just do it 1970s style. I don't even look at the tab. I just keep replaying it. I listen to it and I try to mimic it and copy his hands, or his fingering. That's the way I learned guitar back in the 70s, and it's kind of stopped. But Gerard told me before we go to the next guitar, Gerard did tell me, oh, you know what? We forgot the reverb on this. Let's put the reverb up a little bit. This is a beautiful guitar, though. I like the neck. Anyway, Gerard had told me that no wonder that the Polytone became the amp of choice back in the day. I know Joe Pass used it. That's what triggered me to look for this amp. Uh, Joe Pass used it. A lot of the greats, use this amp apparently. And thank you, Gerard. Gerard said that when Polytone built this amp, they got like they surveyed these great jazz musicians on the aspects of what they wanted in an amp, and I guess it's a combination of what these people had sent their feedback to Polytone, and once they got it right, in here, everybody started using it that was into jazz. Okay, so we are down to the last guitar here. So again, thank you, Gerard. We're down to the last guitar here, and this is probably one of my favorite ones. It's a cheap guitar that was made in the Philippines that was given to me by my dad 30 years ago, and it stood the test of time. The pickups died, eventually. They were very cheap ones. I have Lawler in them now for both the bridge and the neck, and everything else is original, though this may have to go. It's starting to give me issues. The tuners are amazing. It stays in tune, and the company, RJ Guitars, it was their first year when I got this guitar. They have since been threatened by Fender. If you go to RJ Guitars now, you will not see a headstock like this anymore. This is a Fender headstock, really, and you won't see that anymore because they got a warning, and now they have a different kind of look. It's not as good as this. So this is literally like a Fender, really. And then look at the back of this. This is me playing it for years. It was this dark. And this is no sanding or nothing. It just, we're off, playing it. So this is near and dear to me. Um, in all reality, I could probably just stay with this guitar and be happy. But here's the sound. This is the neck. Here's the both pickups. It's got that P90 quality. And of late, for all my guitars except the Jazz Box, of course, I have no choice. It's got one pickup. But for most of these guitars that I have now, including the Tele that's back there and the Ibanez AG95, that's an old guitar that's back there. One of my favorites too. That's made in China. They don't make them in China anymore, but that was 2006, I think. Um, is that when I play, or attempt to play jazz, because that's where I'm at, I use both pickups. I don't know, that single coil sound appeals to me. And that is why probably one of my most favorite jazz guitar players who I thought was very underrated in his time is Grant Green, because he does have that sound. He doesn't really go too dark on his thing. I like his sound. I like his style. He's not about showing off how fast he can play. It's about the harmony and melody. In fact, I'm reading his book, The Dog Chewed It. This is an old the dog decided to read it before I did using his teeth. And yeah, I got it now. I'm reading it. And yeah, interesting life story there. But that is it for today. I'm glad. I think I was able to test everything that I wanted to test to give you guys just an idea. This is probably not the best demo of this amp, but it's the best I could do. But if you fancy, ordering this amp at some point, do it. Just make sure that everything, never mind the aesthetics, but just make sure that everything functions well. It's a damn good amp. Very heavy, very heavy. I would put it at 20, 25 pounds maybe. Might even be 30, to be honest with you. It is a heavy amp for its size. It's fully closed at the back, it's not open. And that is why I think the sound is good. It maintains that sound. But do it. So kudos to the person in Reverb. Yeah, it was dirty, but he kept to his word. When I asked him, all I need to know is that everything functions well and it's a quiet amp, plus or minus, given amps at those day, and it's really quiet. my DV mark is his is more than this will ever his. But we'll compare those two at some point because I think there are similarities there. You can dial it in, the DV. But I hope you like the amp. And for those of you who've already commented via email, um, or in my other posts about this, thank you so much for your comments. And I'm looking forward to the next video upload that I do. I've got some time now. Um, 2 hours will be spent with my lessons this afternoon. I've got that set aside, and let me see. Yeah, as you can see there, I even have a new workstation now. Right there is my chair and music stand and guitar. I've got a amp on the floor there for me that I can use. It takes me away from YouTube, meaning I practice here, and every once so often, after 5 minutes, I'll pause it and I'll serve. Well, when out there, this is off. I turn it entirely off, so I focus more. I think that was one of the problems too. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. I have a very interesting topic coming up. I think I'm going to upload it later because I'll get busy through the week and I can't wait to upload this. It's very weird. It's very unique. And I'm going to upload that. And I know that 100% you guys will agree with me on this one. Okay, you take it easy. Have a great Sunday and I'll talk to you later. Bye.